Hey guys, what's up? This is Ron here, and in this King of Fighters All-Star video, we are going to discuss about the latest teaser trailer that netmarble released about the upcoming boss syndrome fighters BS Goenitz and BS Leona. And they have released a trailer, so now let's just watch this trailer together and then we will discuss about the things. And make sure you give this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. So guys, let's watch the video together. So here we can see Mr. Karate or CS Karate or CM Karate, whatever you say, and he's kind of describing the things out, and they're kind of really excited about the upcoming project, and this is why they're going to get some bean noodles as well. That's a funny thing, right? Now here comes the most important part of the video. As you can see, the first look of BS Goenitz. Look at this, my friends. Look at this, how gorgeous he is. And that aura, that red aura that stays around him. I don't know what is this, my friend, but that is something, and that actually acts a lot. Let me just go back. Let's check it out again. Let's check it out. Look at this. Wow. Wow. So gorgeous, my friends, so gorgeous. And a lot of things going around here, and these things can actually block some of the attacks of the enemy, as you can see, and also does some damage as well. And here is the Leona, BS Leona here, and we'll go back to her once again as we finish this. Look at her moves. Woohoo! Oh my god. Okay, Mr. Karate kind of ended this video really quick, so now we're going to take a good look at these type of things. Now you can see this aura, and I have a feeling that this aura actually will give a certain dot as well. And in my opinion, as I can guess, just a guess, my friends, probably this aura is going to be related with the starlight damage. Probably, my friends, that is my wild guess. And this red aura that is surrounding Goenitz is something that is devs already called it as a barrier. And a barrier is something that will protect the character at the same time, and it will also do damage to the opponent as well. I mean, how freaking cool is that, right, my friends? And as I can guess that it will not only do the damage but also apply some dot. Oh my goodness, man, that is going to be super duper OP, my friends. And another thing that the devs were talking about, or Mr. Karate was talking about, that is to make the continuous additional attacks. That means while applying this sort of skill, the character can actually make continuous amount of damage. This is one of the major characteristic of this barrier thing. And another thing is the number of attacks, and actually this the number of hits will actually be very high. And we all know that Goenitz is some sort of character who actually deals a lot of hits. Now another thing that is point worthy, that is, you can see that Leona is doing her cutting ball thing, and Goenitz is not really affected by it, and the aura is actually protecting him from that cutting ball or whatever projectile thing the character is creating. And it can be cutting ball for Leona, but I believe that any sort of projectile, for example any projectile that may be from SS Kyo, SS Yuri, BS Ignis, or any sort of projectile may be will be stopped whenever this aura thing is going on. And you must also notice that this aura thing is not always present, and it has certain cooldown or something. Probably this comes out of a skill. Maybe it is activated whenever a certain skill is activated. So this can be done, but it is quite sure that this is going to block the damage, and at the same time this is going to inflict damage on the opponent. I mean, how dope is that, my friends? Whenever it is also going to apply some dot as well. If the dot is applied, my goodness, I cannot think much more about it, my friends. And as you guys will see that this aura thing doesn't really stays all the way. It is activated through some sort of skills. So the point is kind of simple, that this is going to be activated by through some sort of skills. So this is damn good, my friends, damn good. Or it can be something in his core. We don't know yet. We don't know yet, my friends. We are waiting for the actual kit to reveal, and this is actually developer version. So there are certain things can be changed here and there. It doesn't really matter. Don't bother. Let's just wait for the actual kit. Now let's talk about BS Leona here, and actually there is a lot to talk about. As you can see, he's doing a lot of awakening rotation things, and let's just go back and look at those things. And from where we can see that she actually has 2 strike skill and 1 blast skill, and from this picture we can almost be certain that she is going to apply burn damage. As we predicted that in previous videos, that burn is a dot that is not present in any of the boss syndrome characters. So there is a high chance that burn will be in one of these characters, as I have speculated, and looks like that the speculation is coming true, and BS Leona will be someone who is doing burn damage, and there is a lot of burn damage right here, my friends. Now another interesting point about Goenitz here. Look at Goenitz and look at that shield around him, and actually we never saw this shield when we saw the gameplay of Goenitz when he was fighting with Leona in the previous section of the video. There was no shield right there, my friends. But in the spider robot, when Goenitz is switched in, we can see an immediate shield on him. And that is kind of a thing that will be really useful in places where you are going to switch your characters, especially in guilds. Amazing stuff, and totally new mechanism that has never been. And as we know that netmarble is still experimenting with this shield thing. We have seen them in BS Original 0, in SS New Tango, and now we are going to see them in BS Ignis as well, but in a different format. We haven't seen any shield while he was fighting, but when he is switched in or tagged in, then we can see the shield. Wow, that is pretty much interesting, my friends. And another interesting thing I would like to point about BS Leona is that there is certain red thing that goes around her. There's some sort of aura or something. You look at those red dots around her, red or fiery dots, and this thing is almost as the same mechanism as the red aura of BS Goenitz, which at the same time will do damage to the opponent and receive and block the damage from the opponent. And look at this. Orochi here, he threw a projectile, as you can see, and that projectile is not hitting BS Leona. That projectile is somewhat blocked or absorbed or totally gone. Nothing is happening. So the character is kind of out of damage all the time. And that is kind of crazy, my friends. That is kind of crazy. And this means what? This means a lot of characters who are dependent on their projectiles, especially characters like BS Orochi and some other characters out there who are highly dependent on their projectiles, and these characters or this mechanism will be the death of the projectile. To be honest, my friends, to be honest. And look what happens when BS Leona attacks. Her aura thing actually devastates the opponent firstly. Secondly, it saves her from any further attack or anything. Thirdly, it is going to apply fear to the enemy. As you can see, the fear symbol of that mask here is going to apply fear to the enemy, and also some other dots along with burn. As you can see clearly that burn is getting applied, and clearly we can see that Orochi is kind of burning like hell. And it is sort of feeling that I have a feeling of Starlight as well, but let's see, my friends. But burn is for sure, we can guarantee that. And look at this, whenever she actually attacks the opponent, the defense of the opponent actually goes down, and the attack of the boss syndrome Leona will increase. So a lot of damage, my friends, a lot of damage she will be able to deal. Though she is a defense type fighter, it doesn't really matter. She will break through your opponent, no doubt. And as I have said that burn is the D dot, that is confirmed that she is going to deal. I have seen those burn. But I have also a feeling that she might also add Starlight as well as a dot, because all of these boss syndrome characters must come with double dots, and one dot of Leona is going to be burn and another probably maybe Starlight. And surprisingly, Goenitz here also reminds me of Starlight, because this type of Starlight I see when I apply Starlight to the bosses, and this can happen, but I am not taking it for granted, and I cannot assure you, but there is a certain feeling that this character might have Starlight as well. And if this aura thing actually deals some dots as well, then this thing is going to be a great thing for breaking the shield of the guild bosses, and that is going to be pretty dope, my friends. And look at this once again. Very high indication of Starlight, my friends. I cannot ignore it. So I guess you have enjoyed the video. Now let's talk about that what points we got from the video. Firstly, we are getting that Goenitz is having that aura which at the same time protects himself from getting damage, and at the same time it inflicts damage on the opponents along with probably some dots as well. And secondly, the same thing with Leona here. Leona has a certain aura thing going around here, and that aura also deals damage to the opponent and defends any sort of attack and saves the character. That means BS Leona. So this is a double edged sword that works in both ways. And thirdly, we also learned that Goenitz, this character right here, as you can see in my screen, he actually can generate a shield, and we don't really know that how long that shield will generate, but all we know that whenever the character is tagged in, whenever the Goenitz is tagged in, BS Goenitz will generate that shield, and probably that shield will be more or less like the other shield that is going to be broken after 20 or so hits, and probably there will be something other things that there will be no barrier regarding health or anything. That means whenever you are going to switch or tag in BS Goenitz, he will probably generate the shield for certain times. And next thing that we learned, that is Leona, BS Leona is having burn as a dot, and that is pretty much sure that as you can saw, and as we have predicted that burn is a lacking dot in boss syndrome characters, and she is getting the burn. And probably she will also have Starlight as well, but I cannot guarantee you, but I can guarantee you that she is having burn. And also Leona has fear. She can apply fear to the enemy, as we saw in our video. So that is another thing that we learned. And also overall, I think that both of these characters are actually having Starlight. I cannot really assure you that thing, but I have a feeling that both of these characters are going to have Starlight. So that is going to be really useful, because Starlight is still very highly ranked dot, and it is going to be insane, my friends. And Starlight damage dealing characters are really rare in the game, and people who are lacking characters like BS Kizalid or SSKO, this banner can be great if this banner actually have Starlight. And if you want to know that, then just wait for my next video. Whenever the kits are going to be out, I will review this character and explain everything that you need to know. And till then, stay awesome and stay safe, guys. Hope to see you soon in some other videos. Peace out, my friends.